American companies are drunk on Chinese dollars, entangled with communist dictators committing atrocities and propping up these genocide games. What can we do?
Stand for freedom.
Congressman Michael Waltz says NBC won't let that Olympic ad air. The network says they didn't reject it, but requested changes so it could air. Here to react, Fox News contributor Joe Concha. Joe, the changes are, would you please gut the ad of its entire message by making sure no corporate logos or corporations are mentioned in the ad? So NBC picked a side, Joe.
Yeah, I love this. We didn't reject the ad. We just wanted the whole thing changed. Yeah, that's rejecting it, basically, right? Well, but I think this is the boomerang effect that this is going to have. You just played a clip from that ad, right? And all over social media, people are now watching this ad when maybe if it aired on NBC, it would have came and gone. So I think that ultimately it's going to make its point, but it's disappointing, right? I mean, considering that NBC's coverage did start off with a very comprehensive critical look at Chinese human rights abuses that Mike Tirico led, the anchor. But when push came to shove, apparently, at least here, NBC seems to cower to the CCP because these American companies, as you know, Will, are so intertwined and reliant on the Chinese that at this point they're just going to bow and say, okay, we don't want to offend you. And we saw this with the NBA, right? And the Houston Rockets general manager not too long ago when he tweeted, and this is all he did, he tweeted his support for protesters in Hong Kong, and the Chinese government took action and had sponsors and partners cut ties with the NBA. Again, this is over a tweet, right? But look, I don't think a lot of people are watching right now, Will, because I just saw the numbers come in. NBC Sports says 16 million people tuned in to watch the opening ceremony. You say, wow, 16 million, that's pretty good. The problem is that's down about 50% from the last Winter Games just in 2018. And then if you want to go back to Nancy Kerrigan and Tanya Harding, because, you know, Olympics can draw viewers, that had 126 million viewers in 1994, more than any other Super Bowl. I mean, that number is just staggering to look at.
Right. It makes you wonder. I wonder how many people are protesting the games versus how many people just don't care anymore, just aren't interested.
Yeah.
And, you know, and tied to that, Joe, I do wonder how many people are aware of China's human rights abuses. You know, I just, you know, how many people out there who aren't plugged in on a daily basis understand what we're dealing with here? Because I think a lot of these corporations are playing on that ignorance. Let me show you this, Joe. Here's your top sponsors for the 2022 Winter Olympics: Coca-Cola, Bridgestone, Intel, Airbnb, Visa, Procter & Gamble. And many of these, we'll take Coca-Cola here, they're the same corporations that took a stand against the Georgia voter integrity bills. So there, Coke took a stand. In China, no such stand.
Wow, what a great point, right? We see it with NBA players like LeBron James and Steph Curry, Steve Kerr, the coach of the Golden State Warriors. They really, really gave it to Donald Trump, right, when he was in office. But when it came to the Chinese, well, no, we can't criticize them. Why? Again, money, right? And I don't know if you saw what J.A. Adande said. Who's J.A. Adande? He's a commentator on ESPN, right? He actually said that, wow, you know, why should we criticize the Chinese and the Uyghurs, and as far as, you know, the rape and the torture and the slave camps over there when we have voter ID issues here? It's like, are you kidding me? I mean, 3 in 4 Americans support voter ID requirements, and you're comparing really voting rights, which we all have here in the United States, to what's going on with the Uyghurs and the Chinese. It's amazing that made air on ESPN, and I think he made the right move leaving there to come here. Will.
I appreciate that. It was an absolutely despicable statement. It's one you just cannot accept. All right, Joe, always great to talk to you, man. Thank you.
All right, man. See you next weekend. Bye.
Okay.